yes. Now look, I know it's not the watch party. Okay, I know it's not the watch party, but these graphics that Elijah made are just so damn cool, you know what I mean? So I want to keep it, I want to just keep them going. I want to you know what I mean? Do you guys know what I mean? Hello? Anybody? How are we doing tonight, guys? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to your Wednesday night. And we get to do one of my favorite things to do. And that's to get together with the community and kind of talk about what we think of the newest pop culture thing. The newest thing. It's Ahsoka. It's the newest thing. It's what everybody's talking about. You know? For better or for worse. And so today I want to ask the question, is this enough to save Star Wars? I want to see what you guys think of the show. And just, you know, kind of give you my perspective on it. And you know, it's funny because, you know, look, I've had a really busy week. And, you know, I'm really excited about Rebel Moon. Really excited about Unity. And we're doing really good on that campaign. And it's been a lot of work. You know, trying to reach out to people, trying to promote, etc. For whatever reason, when it comes to Ahsoka, I find myself at this place of pretty much complete peace. And I feel like maybe for the first time in a long time with Star Wars, I feel not necessarily like super confident, but I feel like I know exactly where this is heading, and I feel like I know where we're at right now. That'll probably make more sense when I get into my thoughts a little bit more thoroughly. But I did enjoy the first two episodes. Dropped a video earlier today kind of talking about my feelings and my thoughts on them. And I think looking out online, I've seen mostly positive reviews. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? Do you see a lot of positivity out there? I know there's negativity. Absolutely there's negativity. By the way, there was always going to be negativity towards this show. But I think at Rotten Tomatoes right now, I think it's like still around 85, 86. I think the audience scores in the low 90s. So it's looking good. You know what I mean? It's looking good. From my perspective, what I see out there is it's looking good. Now, I don't think it's a smash, immediate, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? But I really do feel like this is if I'm Disney, right? And I'm sitting back and, you know, maybe rightfully so, kind of nervous about how the show's going to be, how it's going to perform. And, you know, their release schedule for it is an attempt to eventize this show, to make it the thing, right? And so there had to be a lot of sort of nervousness around that, considering where everything is at. If I'm Disney and I'm looking out at the reaction to this, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not like cheering, you know, I'm not like, yo, let's fucking go, but I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely am not feeling bad. You know what I mean? I think it's a good reception so far. Okay, now let us start with. Man, I always like to start with this, man. You guys give me your score for the first two episodes out of 10. We'll just lump them together as like the premiere. You know what I mean? Like the premiere. You guys give me your score out of 10. And then I'll give you mine and all that. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. 8, 9, 8, 9, 5, 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 8, 5, 7, 6, 8, 8, 7. Easy 10. 9, 8, 8, 8. A lot of 8s. 7.5, 9, 9, 8, 9, 8, 5, 8, 8, 5. I mean, these are very good scores, guys. You know, we do this pretty much every time for every single show as the episodes come out. And these are very high scores. You know what I mean? So you just look around, and I mean, that's a lot of really high scores. 7 isn't good. I would argue 7 is really good. 8's better, 9's incredible, and 10's like perfect. You know what I mean? But a 7's good, man. I give a lot of things a 7, and I'm like, no, that's a good score. And also, most of the scores are 8 and 9s, to be honest with you. So I would say I would give it an 8 as well. And, I kind of went over this in the video I did earlier, but there are a lot of things that I actually didn't like about the 2 episodes. And I don't think it's this sort of flawless masterpiece of a show, right? But I feel like it does the important things right. And it also is setting up where we're going to go, I think, in a really, really good way. So to me, it's like, I thought about, is it at 8.5? Is it a 9? I think there's enough in there that I don't like that it can't really be a 9 or a 10 for me. But it's like an 8 that I feel like really comfortable with. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh, that's an 8, but I feel great. And I feel like the next couple of things that we're going to get are amazing. That's the other thing is, as I was thinking about this show, given where Star Wars is at, like, I'll be completely honest with you guys, given where Star Wars is at, I can absolutely see how these first 2 episodes are maybe underwhelming for some people or just, like, not what they were looking for, And I think some people wanted it to be, like, either the next coming of, like, Mando or, even some of the older movies or whatnot. And it's not quite there, So I'm actually feeling pretty positive about how the reception's going because I think there's plenty of, like, bait or, like, low-hanging fruit in the episodes that are, memeable, clickbaitable, and it's not a show that's, like, designed to be hater-proof, And I think despite that, a lot of people are being very fair about the show. You know what I mean? Like, from what I've seen, a lot of folks are like, okay, yeah, no, I don't like this, I don't like that, but damn, do I like this? Damn, am I excited about this? And even from some of the conversations I've had behind the scenes with people, that appears to be the resounding narrative. I do wonder, though, what do you guys see? Like, that's what I'm really, really curious about. Is like, do you see that? Are you seeing a lot of hate out there? Like, where are you? Like, you guys got to help me out with that because I haven't been as plugged in as I normally am. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how it all shakes out, I love that Dave isn't listening to anybody but himself. Yeah, I agree with that. Not enough buzz for it? Interesting. It was trending earlier today, which I thought was great. I mean, Thrawn is trending right now. So that's good. Mostly positive with a few trolls. More positive than hate. Are you drinking wine, Josh? No, it's ice cold brew. Cold brew that we made at home. It's not wine. For now, it's been better than Boba Fett and Mando last season. Oh, I 100% agree with that, yeah. I see a deep anime connection to this if they go that route. It does feel a little anime, doesn't it? Yeah. Nerd Theory tonight? No Nerd Theory tonight. We'll be back at it next Monday, though. And you know what? I haven't actually talked to Theory about it. We missed each other on last night. I called him, he called me, but we just kind of missed each other. I'll at least text him or whatever, but I've seen what he's talking about on Twitter, and he seems to really, really like it. And I will also say, just like Theory, I watched it again. And I liked it more. An interesting thing happened where some of the stuff that I didn't like, it didn't like bug me as much the second time. So when I first watched The Last Jedi, I was like, there were a few things that I just really did not like, right? And I was like curious how I would feel watching them again, because sometimes like it's just a little different. As an example, when I first watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I actually didn't like it. Believe it or not. First time I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, it's too different. I don't really like it. I've come to believe it's like a masterpiece, and I really, really like Guardians 1 now. But it took me like a couple times to kind of like settle in for what it was. I don't know. Sometimes things just hit you different, and you want to check it out, a second or a third time. With The Last Jedi, when I watched it again, all the shit I hated even more. Like, the Leia scene infuriated me. The joke at the beginning, rage-inducing. And I didn't have that effect. When I watched Ahsoka again, I was like, okay, I still don't like this, but it's not driving me crazy and it's not as bad. Okay? A couple of different options here, guys. So, one thing that we can do is I can kind of just go over what I liked. I can kind of go over what I didn't like and expand a little bit on, what I did in the video earlier today. And I'm more than happy to do that. Or I can actually pull up the episodes and we can kind of go through them, and I can kind of talk through the scenes and the particular stuff and say, my feelings on it on a base by base. That will take some time though. These are long episodes. We're not going to go over every single scene. But what do you think? Pull them up? Should I pull it up? Okay, let's pull it up. Let me get it pulled up here. Let me get it pulled up. And together we shall talk about this. Also, just another option for you guys. I'll throw this out there. If you want to, we can just shift and talk about Rebel Moon all stream if you want. Third option, if you guys want to just make it a Rebel Moon stream, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, what? No, you guys don't want that? Fuck? You guys crazy? You don't understand? Do you guys not get it? Do you not get that we're getting the next Star Wars already? Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. So, first of all, I absolutely love the music. The music choices, I think, are absolutely brilliant. What the hell's going on here? Why can't I scroll through there? I'm not trying to get copy struck. I'm just trying to show some stuff. Is it not? It's not letting me shift? That is so goddamn ridiculous, dude. What is happening right now? Can I do it when I... Okay. Wow. This is going to be a little difficult, but that's all right. We can figure it out. Okay, so first thing we have is the music cues coming in with like this drum, very like Eastern inspired music, and you've got a crawl. I did randomly see, guys, some people talking shit on the crawl, and I was like, what? I thought this crawl was dope, man. Like, it's obviously different than the Star Wars crawl. I swear to God, like, I'm not trying to, like, go super hard on motherfuckers, but, like, damn, y'all be reaching to hate. Like, some of you guys literally get up early to hate, and it is crazy to me. And also, some of y'all, and look, like I said, we're trying to play nice. We're trying to play nice around here. But some of y'all literally, like, come out on Twitter, and you're like, man, look at this bullshit. And then it's almost like you're looking around to make sure everybody, like, that people agree with you and that they're gonna go along with the bullshit. So you're like, dude, this fucking crawl was horrible, right? Right, everybody? Right, everybody? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Let's be kind. I thought this crawl was cool, man. One of the things I really like about the sensibility that Dave brings to this shit is it's like, it's Star Wars, and it feels so Star Wars, but it's like Dave Star Wars. It like, this is like, by the way, wouldn't be mad if his movie had a crawl like this. And then everybody's going to be like, ah! But no, like, real talk, I think this crawl is cool, man. Like, it's cool. Red text, going up straight. I'm in. I kind of like it. So from the jump, I was like, wow, he's really doing some crazy stylistic things here. That's pretty cool. And we come into this scene, which, another thing you got to say, you got to give props to the show. The ships and the visual effects look absolutely incredible. Like, literally every single time I'm looking at a ship, whether it's in the foreground or the background, I'm like, wow, that looks really, really cool. And a lot of the stuff that happens later on, too, where he's just got, like, X-Wings flying by and all this other stuff, like, woo, like, you can tell, man, like, he's like, I want all the toys, and I'm going to play with all the toys. So I thought it was really cool. This entire sequence is great. This entire sequence and the introduction of these new baddies, I thought was absolutely fantastic. You know who kind of low-key hard carries these scenes too? Is the captain. That old captain guy, man, like a swagger and gravitas to him. And I mean, like, imagine some dude, because like Balin is huge, right? And obviously shout outs to Ray, may he rest in peace, turned in one hell of a performance from what we've seen so far. But like, Ray Stevenson is massive. He's a massive human being. And this captain that's not even close to his size somehow like brings enough gravitas in that scene for it to like feel combative. It's really cool. I was like, dude, this dude's like carrying this. And then of course you get the classic like Sith attacking, and Balin takes him out. I thought it was really cool. He's like, you're right about one thing. We're not Jedi or whatever, right? And like this whole scene right here, I thought, throw one into the chat if you thought he was gonna make him blast himself in the head. Bro, I thought he was gonna make him blast himself in the head. That's Rebel Moon. That's some Rebel Moon shit, right? Right? We're still in the Star Wars universe here, so that's not what we're doing. But I thought this was excellent. Shin, man, what a compelling character. I kept saying this last night, but she just grabs my attention every time she's on screen. There's really something about her. I think a lot of it just happens visually. She's not even like, it's not like she's putting in a crazy Adam Driver level performance. I think she plays with like empty space and time very well. But I really think it comes down to the design of the character. She's like this kind of like minxy goth, like dark princess, like weird looking anime chick. It totally works. I absolutely love it. It grabbed me. I thought it was dope. Balin's great. I like his scene here. I love the scene here with him and Morgan. I thought they both were killing it. And then it kind of ends with her basically being like, there's a Jedi. She knows about Thrawn. She knows where the map is. What's this Jedi's name? Ahsoka. And then we're like, yo, let's throw that on a title. Bam! Ahsoka, right? So we get into this sequence here, and this is very Kurosawa. He's using there's a lot of atmosphere in these scenes. I can absolutely like recognize that this is a slower pace. Like if you've ever watched Kurosawa, bro, like I don't know if TikTok kids and the TikTok generation can watch Kurosawa, to be honest with you, because it's like very slow, very atmospheric. And he's playing with like these dust and the particles and this dim light, which also kind of creates that atmosphere as well. And it's sort of slow and deliberate, it feels almost in some ways like it was made perfectly for me. I'm like fucking right as rain. I love it. But also like, we got to think about it like this. This is commercial art. Okay. It is commercial art. It must serve the commercial purpose as well. And we'll see, because so far it seems like it is. It's like the show, from what I can understand and what I can see, is performing well. So that's great. But we always have to kind of keep it in mind where it's like, okay, I love this, but also like, is this the right decision? You know what I mean? And I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. But I love the entirety of this sequence. I felt like I was really transported in to this world and into this vibe. The actual what do we think's going on here, guys? Is this like ancient Night Sisters, perhaps, on the walls? Perhaps a connection to the Zepho? I'm not really sure. But it definitely evoked in me the feeling of uncovering a mystery, the feeling of greater like questions to be answered. And I keep getting this feeling that Dave is going to do something wild with the show. And I don't know if it's going to be the Yuuzhan Vong. I don't know if it's going to be the Ricotta. But I feel like we're getting something bigger here. We're going to get a setup for something larger. And it feels like we're about to learn more about the Force, which is crazy. I've never had that feeling. I mean, I haven't had that feeling in a long time. You know what I mean? So I thought it was really cool. But yeah, who knows for sure? Maybe these are Night Sisters or whatnot. But we get the little Indiana Jones sequence here. And then we get her, coming up to face these droids, right? And these are the HK droids. I thought the droid sequence was great. I thought the action was cool. I think in this first action scene, it's pretty damn good. It's actually some of the other later action sequences that I'm like, I wish the saber fighting was just a little bit better. But I thought it was cool. It's, it's still very atmospheric and they're having fun with it. Like, I feel like we're having fun here. And then the explosion and the ruins being destroyed and the ship taking off and this whole sequence here, this is great, man. I really felt like it was good stuff. And you know who really surprised me was this guy. This freaking droid, dude. I did not imagine that I'd give two shits about this guy. And I actually really like this droid. Maybe one of my favorite droids in Star Wars. Definitely helps that he's a Jedi Temple droid. Really cool. Great idea. And I guess, I believe this droid is also in the Clone Wars or is it Rebels, where they make their sabers and it's Gunji? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I don't know if it's the same droid or if it's a different model. It is? Okay, cool. Yeah, so he's reprising his role, right? Because I believe David Tennant voiced that character as well. Okay, right. Cool. Yeah, I really liked it, man. I was like, damn, this is really cool. And what a cool idea to have that kind of a character that can, run the data, but also just knows about Jedi. It's really interesting. So then we pull into these. Dude, I love the sequence here with like the X-Wings coming over the top and seeing some of the damage on the ship and coming in. Even this shot here, man, I was like, oh man, this shit's so dope. And then we get into the stuff with Hera. And I liked Hera. I mean, I feel like Hera, just like Ahsoka, will probably look better in the next show, the next thing they do. And I think we might not be getting a lot more of Hera in the show, frankly. And, from where we head from here, maybe not a lot of Hera. But, I think she looks good. I like what the character is doing in the show. There is an element here of Ahsoka being wildly different than what I remember from Rebels, and Sabine being very different from what I see in Rebels. Okay, from what I remember. However, Hera feels very similar, and I feel like Hera's this really nice glue to kind of put that stuff together, right? And you not only get indications of the mission and everything like that, but immediately it's like, who would help you is Sabine, right? And it's established that there's this beef that essentially happened off screen. And I gotta say, man, I don't love this. I put this in my video, but I don't love this. I don't like the idea of like a missing chapter of this story happening off screen. It feels a little manufactured for the sake of like the show to have a little bit of tension. I think it's effective. I think certain scenes in the show maybe wouldn't have worked as well without that tension. But I don't love that it happened off screen. You know what I mean? And I don't love where both of those characters are currently at as compared to when we last meet them in Rebels, right? So I'm giving the show the benefit of the doubt. I think, maybe some of that stuff will be explained as we keep going. And, I think Ahsoka is definitely on a journey of embracing her more optimistic side and being more like the colorful character that we remember. But I think that where she is at right now is, for whatever reason, a low point, So I'm going to be honest, don't love it. Can't give props to something that I just... It's not that it's a cheap trick. I don't think it's a cheap trick because it's definitely something that works. I just don't love it. With characters that are as familiar as they are to me, to have that all happen off screen, I'm like, not really down. Now... This is an interesting sequence because this shit totally works for me. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but this guy's awesome. He's the same dude that did the voice of that character, and this really feels like the Lothal sequences in Rebels. I like this, but, and it's a pretty big but, figuratively and literally, actually, I don't like what they did here with Sabine, guys. I don't like it. And this is a sequence that when I watched it again, it didn't bother me as much, but I did not like this. And I don't think you need this scene. That's the thing that keeps bugging me. It's like, I don't think you need this scene, and I think you actually serve the character better without this scene. I feel like this scene is actually going to possibly create the real crux of the problem for a lot of different folks, and it will be where a lot of the criticisms of like the girl boss and all that sort of stuff, like forces female, like I feel like this sequence is like the root of all of that. And again, I think it's way more effective. Like, imagine we go from this sequence here. She's gone. Where is she? That's it. Cut. To here. Like, literally, where is she? That's enough to establish she's rebellious. It's enough to establish she's not going with the vibe, you know what I mean? And then, boom, cut to here. Because these scenes with Sabine, I think, are humanizing, and they're good. And they like she's not just this total heartless girl boss person. I really think that first scene with her is a mistake. It literally made me be like, well, I guess I don't like Sabine now. Which sucks, because I love Sabine. Sabine in Rebels is awesome, but this version of Sabine is, like, ridiculous. And it makes you judge all the other shit she does in the episode even more harshly. Like, it's not a good look, in my opinion. So, definitely did not like that. This stuff's all great, though. All right, can we talk about the next thing that I didn't like? We're almost through the shit that I really didn't like, okay? But I got to tell you, this next thing, I really didn't like this. Can anybody guess what it is? Can anybody guess what I really didn't like? Yeah, the friend zoning. Bro, what are we doing here? Like, what the fuck is this? This shit really bugs me. So you're telling me that Sabine is sneaking away to put on the private message that Ezra made for her, that Ezra recorded unbeknownst to all of us, specifically for Sabine, and he friend zones her? And he friend zones her, sister zones her, whatever you want to call it. Like, bro, no, really don't like that. Just, I think it's so ridiculous. Just cut it out. Literally just leave. I can just see them being like, well, you know what it rings of to me, and I don't know if this is what it is, but like, you know how Renee Zellweger's been saying stuff like, you know, it's not going to be a love story, or you don't need to be, you know, saved by the prince, and like that. It's like that same kind of energy of like, yeah, we don't need to have a love. It doesn't need to be a love story. You don't need to, you know, miss a man and want to go. I mean, it's just, I don't know if that's what it is, but it doesn't feel good, man. These two clearly had a connection beyond that in Rebels. So, like, what are we doing here? Does he just have the anti-Riz? Does he literally have, like, negative Riz? Is that what's going on? Or is this just some bullshit? I don't know. Like, that shit really bugged me. I was like, bro, what? Like, now I feel like I don't know any of these fucking characters. Like, what is happening here? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that shit really bugged me, bro. Okay, but luckily then we get into another scene here with the baddies, and the baddies are hard carrying at this point. And dude, again, this actress, this character is so compelling. And like her just walking around taking it all in, and the way she interacts with the witch lady, and she's like, you know, what was this place? Like all that sort of stuff. I loved it. I ate it up. I thought it was great. And then it's funny because the witch kind of like sends her on the mission afterward as sort of like a, like, how dare you question me kind of thing, which was really interesting. So we get back to Sabine. We have the whole thing with Ahsoka. And again, this scene, like, in a sense, I get it. I understand it, because the scene probably doesn't play as well if they're just like, hey, happy to see you. Oh, shit, what up? You know what I mean? Like, again, I get it, but it feels a little manufactured for there to be, like, this beef and whatever, and then she's like, you're going to want to hear what she has. I mean, even look at this face, bro. Like, look at this face. Like, what are we doing here? You know? But it does get into some good shit where they're talking about the map and, you know, the past, and, you know, these scenes are good. Like, the dialogue's good, the performance is good, so I don't necessarily mind so much that there's, like, that manufactured drama there. but it's certainly something that I want to kind of try to put past us, meaning I hope that this isn't going to be a thing for the whole show. You know what I mean? But regardless, it ends in a really cool way where she kind of goes off and does her own thing, and then she has a fight with Shin. And Shin and the droids attack, and we get a pretty cool lightsaber fight, actually. And I really loved, again, what they did with Shin, and it's very Darth Maul, where, like, the little droid's, like, you know, like, seeing everything, and then we cut to her. Really cool stuff. The lightsaber fighting was cool. And then she gets stabbed. And, yeah, I mean, look, I think we should be able to, and I'm not trying to get into like because I'm actually really happy with the show. You know, I have to talk about the things I don't like, but I'm satisfied with the show, and I'll explain like why. But Sabine getting stabbed like that and living is just silly. You know? There's no way around it. Like, real talk, it doesn't even bother me that much. I think the reason it bothers me is because I know it's going to bother so many people, and it's just unnecessary. She should have lost a hand. Okay? I said it on Twitter. I'll say it here. She should have lost a hand. If she loses a hand, it's like, oh shit. You know, she could just get a robot hand, really, for all intents and purposes. But, like, one of the things that George did in the original Star Wars that I think is sort of overlooked is, like, that loss of the hand. That thing that happens to Anakin and it happens to Luke. Because that is such a horrifying injury to think of. And, like, you know, as a parent, it's one of those things you worry about with, like, your kids, because, like, it just affects the rest of your life. If you lose a hand, like, it's very, very tough. And it feels like you're losing one of the most important parts of you. It's deeply horrifying. You know what I mean? Or a leg. I mean, sure. But I think the hand is, like, fine. You know, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Like, we should be doing it like that. So I would have literally just had her lose a hand. Because, like, just imagine what that does. Imagine what the conversations are like if that had happened, as opposed to this, you know? And I feel like people, like, I had this feeling. I don't know if you guys had this feeling, but I had this feeling. Did they just do that to try to excuse away the Reva shit? You know what I mean? Now, that's a ridiculous thing to, like, even consider, to be honest with you, right? But we're all fucking thinking it, bro. Like, where literally they came in and they were like, well, we don't want her to lose a hand. What if she gets stabbed through? And they want to just, like, normalize that. I don't love it. I don't love it. Now, look, the fighting's cool. You know, the saber fighting's cool. It's not as good as I think it should be, but it's pretty cool. You know, I liked it. I dug it. I thought it was sweet. And, yeah, so I do like overall the way that shit ended, and then she gets stabbed. I thought it was really sweet. And then jumping right into the next one, go over a bunch of the stuff. We have a last time on Ahsoka, which is crazy because we just watched that shit, bro. And, I gotta do this thing again. Okay, and then obviously, like, she wakes up. I think she's like wanting Ezra, right, in her sleep or whatnot. And they have their kind of thing. This shit was really, really cool. Love this stuff with the villains. Again, whatever this place is, it's so crazy looking. Like, this is another reason why I feel like we're getting some reveals about, like, what the Force might actually be or how it works from galaxy to galaxy, or something about the history of our known galaxy or something, because it's just, there's a lot of really interesting stuff, you know, being teased here. Love the foresty shot. Really cool stuff. Thought it was pretty damn cool. Ahsoka gets the droid. They do the little sequence in the room here with Sabine hardwiring it. I thought that was cool, actually. Pretty effective. Pretty fine. And they get the intel about Corellia. Then the witch lady comes here and she unlocks the map, and, like, bro, this shit is wild. We see a little bit of the green magic here explaining that she is a Night Sister. And then the star map goes up, right? So there's some kind of pathway from our galaxy to the new beyond. One must wonder, are there other galaxies? Because this stone here, right? It's got the circle in here. But there's other stones here. Like, look over to the right, and you've got this thing here. Was there complete intergalactic travel? I don't know. And then you've got the Purgle, right? Like, the Purgle are around here. At least those look like the Purgle to me. So, like, do the Purgle go from galaxy to galaxy? Obviously, they do, but like, it's just kind of intriguing. Like, what are we gonna learn about the galaxy and how all that works? And also, there's a little hint here of Balin being a little weary of the Night Sister magic. He looks at it all kind of funny, you know, kind of interesting. So then we get to the stuff on Corellia, and again, I'll say it, it looks beautiful. I thought it was really beautifully done. There's some interesting kind of political stuff here, mirroring a lot of what we get in Mando Season 3, which kind of like explains, you know, look, the Empire, Republic, it's really not that different to other people, and it also sort of shows that there are sympathizers for the Empire still within the Republic. This sequence was cool because basically the droid here tells her, like, you ain't got no force, girl. You ain't got no force, but you should still train. Which I thought was cool because we're all kind of worried that, like, all of a sudden Sabine's going to be, like, force choking people and doing all that kind of crazy shit, right? So then we get into here and we get this crazy action sequence where, like, homie's like, for the Empire, and basically, like, all of them are still just working for the Empire. Pretty crazy. We get this Maruk character. And the sequence here is cool, but this was the sequence for me that I was like, oh man, I wish it was just a little bit snappier. You know what I mean? Like, wish it was a little bit snappier, wish it was a little bit sharper. It's good, but it's not like the perfect sequence that I wanted it to be, but very good. Chopper is the MVP, of course. Chopper was dope. Love Chop. Great sequence there with Hera. I thought that was a lot of fun. This character's really intriguing. I know a lot of us are wondering who this person is. A former Inquisitor, maybe. Not really sure. I hope it gets revealed. You know what I mean? I do low-key feel like that's Sam Witwer under there. I mean, I don't think it's Starkiller, but... Maruk is Ezra? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Maybe a clone of Ezra. Wouldn't that be crazy? And so that sequence was, like, cool, but not as good as it could be. I did think it was dope how she kind of leans out of the way, though. When his saber's coming. Oh, wait, we already did that one. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then we have Sabine kind of getting her armor out and saying that she's ready. You know, she cuts her hair. She's ready to be a Jedi or train as a Jedi again. And we get this version of the end of Rebels. And they kind of set off. And we end with this hyperdrive being installed on this thing. What do they call it? The something of Zion? The Eye of Zion? And I believe we've seen Thrawn in this ship too within the trailer. So this is the way they're going to go get him. I thought it was fascinating how Morgan Elsbeth said, Thrawn, I hear Thrawn calling to me through time and space. You know? I really did think that was crazy. I was like, man, what does that mean? Very interesting. Yeah. So overall, guys, so here's my thoughts. Like, I just showed you guys there's a ton of stuff that I didn't love in the episode, stuff that I thought, frankly, they did the wrong way. So, right, it's like, why am I standing by the show? Why do I say I liked it, give it an 8, and think that it could actually save Star Wars? Well, I think mostly this has to do with the fact that this show, as opposed to, I think, a lot of the other stuff we get on Disney Plus, this feels like Dave was like, here's the story I want to tell. And every single scene in these episodes is driving that story forward. There doesn't seem to be any filler. It doesn't seem like we're stopping to smell the roses. It is succinct. It is sure of itself. And he is telling a story. There's stuff in it that I don't love, but it feels story driven. you know? So I'm down and I'm riding with it. It also feels like Star Wars, the introduction of the baddies, a lot of the force scenes, the combat. It feels like Star Wars. So I feel at home watching the show. But I think the most important thing, and the thing that like just has me so excited, not only about these episodes, but about the show in general, is pushing the mythos. Pushing the mythos. The idea of these ancient Night Sisters, the idea of these other temples, the idea of another Jedi that survived Order 66 that thinks it's a shame to kill other Jedi. The idea of this new galaxy, a star map that possibly has routes to all these other galaxies, the Purgle that go from galaxy to galaxy, and this new beyond, whatever this place is, wherever Thrawn is at. It's fascinating. That's really exciting because Star Wars, it does have this really weird problem of like, it relies so much on nostalgia. It's such a legacy brand that it's really difficult to do anything new with Star Wars. I mean, look, I reject Andor. I know a lot of you guys liked Andor. I literally reject it. I'm like, that's not Star Wars. It's like too different in ways that like fundamentally matter. It's not fantasy. It's not hero's journey. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel mythic. This has all of those things, and yet it feels like I'm being taken to a place that I've never been before, and I might learn things about this universe that I never knew. That's really cool, man. Like, that to me is what Star Wars needs. So, despite, I think, like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Dave didn't make this show thinking, I'm going to win every single fan back. And as a writer, you shouldn't really be thinking about that shit anyway. Dave literally just is telling his story. And so I think, therefore, these first 2 episodes for certain people are just not going to be enough at all. And I kind of get it. I kind of get it. But I feel really comfortable. You know, I was saying at the top, I was like, dude, bizarrely, I feel like I know exactly where we're at, and I know exactly where we're going. I think, like, it just makes sense. Like, I get where a lot of the fans are. I get where the retractors are. I get why some people aren't fucking with it. But I also feel like they will. Like, we don't even have Thrawn. We're not even in the new Beyond. We haven't seen Ezra. Like, dude, there's a lot of crazy stuff coming in this show. And, you know, just from what we've read in the leaks and the rumors and whatnot, like, bro, it's about to pop off. So for it to start perhaps slower and in a different light than I think some people were looking for, and yet not have the entire fan base, like, rejecting it and up in arms, and a lot of people are still really excited about where it's going, that's a W. Yeah, Anakin. I mean, come on, man. Like, dude, that's a W to me. And I feel like this show will do big numbers. You know? I feel like this show will do big numbers. Maybe not right away. Maybe not right away. But especially when some of that crazy shit starts happening, yeah, I think so. And I think it'll also be something that Star Wars fans kind of galvanize around and get really excited and go check it out. Detractors... what do you... I don't understand. Chillin', why are you yelling at me? Enemies leaving the past and its American troops in a... Wait, what the fuck? Love Thrawn, but I have doubts about incorporating him into magic stuff. Oh, dude, of course. Of course. That seems weird as shit. But how do you do something fresh without risking it being too weird and weird as shit? You know what I mean? Like, bro, of course, Thrawn's way more at home in the Chimera commanding a fleet. But we've seen that. We've read that. I mean, how many more times can we do that? How many more times can you... And by the way, this is actually why I stopped reading the Thrawn novels. It's like, you can't just keep doing Sherlock Holmes shit with Thrawn over and over again. It's like, at some point I'm like, yeah, no, of course he knew all about that. Yeah, of course he figured that shit out. You know what I mean? So you need to take risks to push a franchise forward. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So I feel really good. We can get into Q&A, just kind of talk about it and see what you guys think. Maybe you like some of the takes that I had. Maybe you don't like some of the takes. But I, of course, have to mention, and I got to plug, Unity. I'm going to get that that thing, that Chappelle Show shit, where he's like, Unity. I'm going to get that so that when I start like talking about it, I can play that clip. Where the fuck? Let me get this shit pulled up, bruh. Okay, boom. Here we are. Okay, so we're looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Almost at $26,000, which is great. Little over halfway to our goal. And look, we just got to keep pushing. We got to keep getting the word out. I'd love to get these back. I want to get like over 1,000 backers. You know, like I really want to start like selling the book, getting people to check it out. I absolutely love the support that we've gotten so far, but we need to get people to give the book a chance to get into it. So I'm going to do more promoting. I'm going to start trying to reach out to people and like go on their streams or their podcasts and talk about it. And yeah, so if you're interested, man, been working on this story for a long time. It's my own original IP, 100+ page graphic novel. I put out a video too today. Here, we can watch this real quick. This video is actually cool. And it explains some about the characters. The two main characters.
So Xander is a human.
What?
Not a gifted. He doesn't get the superpowers when the big cosmic
All right,
event
so
happens,
let's
but he
restart
does-
this. Boom,
Let's
check
talk
this
about
out.
The two main characters for the Unity comic book, Midas, the Golden Man, and General Xander, last hope of humanity. Let's start with General Xander. So Xander is a human. He's not a gifted. He doesn't get the superpowers when the big cosmic event happens, but he is a soldier and he fights in that great war, the one with all the superheroes that almost destroys humanity. And so Xander sees firsthand, I mean, like really firsthand, just how crazy violent and horrible a war with the gifted can be. And he, like many other people, recognizes that this cannot go on. The gifted being out there uncontrolled will destroy the world. And so Xander, as a soldier, becomes instrumental in the creation of the Unity Corps, which is this big policing operation. It's all about control. If you're gifted, you have to go work with the Unity.
Yeah, so basically, like, everybody gets superpowers, then everybody goes to war. General Xander, who's one of the main characters, he's in that war, and he faces off against these superpower people, and he's like, holy shit, bro, like, this is ridiculous. This is not going to be good for anybody. So then they formulate the Unity Corps, and they kind of like police the world and kind of get rid of all the superheroes.
You're either going to be recruited into the Unity Corps or you're going to be captured and imprisoned by the Unity Corps. But let's shift into Midas for a second. So Midas is this artificial being created by this ancient sentient life out there in the universe, and he's tasked with going around the galaxy and essentially just helping consciousness to survive. And I love the Midas character. Like, he's really cool, but also really useful as a writer because he doesn't have a dog in the fight. He doesn't think in terms of morality. He has a probability matrix, which is like this really complicated artificial mind where he's constantly calculating how the outcomes will happen. And so when Midas first arrives on Earth, he immediately recognizes that General Xander and his plans with the Unity Corps is the best shot that humanity has. So Midas helps Xander, not because he likes him, not because he's friends with him, but because he just sees that as humanity's best hope. And Midas is just crazy. Oh,
yeah. So basically, like, Midas he's just like a robot, and he's not thinking, he's calculating. So basically, when he first comes to Earth, this guy Xander has already started the Unity Corps, and Midas just sees that through the lens of an artificial intelligence as the best option for us. So he helps Xander go round up all the gifted. And then I talk about in this video how Xander starts taking the DNA and the blood of the gifted, of the superheroes in that world, and he makes a serum and essentially gives himself superpowers. So when our story starts in the graphic novel, Xander is like as powerful as Superman. Like, he is strong, bro. Maybe stronger than most of the gifted at this point, which is really crazy. So yeah, those two characters are basically the heart of the story. And I'm hella excited, man. I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm so pumped to be able to tell you guys well, there's just some crazy twists and turns that come with that. So, yeah, go check out Unity, man. Check out the comic. Check it on out. All right, let's get into these Qs and these As. Pause. Qs and As. Okay, here we go. Okay. Darth Sounds is the first one in today. Says, watch Melvin's review that just came out. I liked it, but he made some good and hilarious points. Still can't believe Dave pulled a Reva. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what, though? But it's one of those things where, like, I feel like I don't feel like it's toxic at all to be like, yeah, I don't like that. And, like, shouldn't we be able to just be like that? Like, yo, like, I don't like that. Doesn't ruin it for me. But, like, can we stop doing that? Like, that's not cool. Mike S. Hangout says, I have the same reaction. After watching the first 2 episodes, I feel at peace. I think maybe we're starting to go in the right direction. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel as well, man. It's like, I've never been more comfortable with an 8 out of 10 with a lot of stuff I didn't like in it. You know? Like, it's just, I feel good. And I feel like, yeah, like, dude, it's going to get better. We're getting into the dope shit. And there's enough here that I love that I'm like, no, I'm riding with this show. Which is great because you guys know I was incredibly nervous. How was I going to react to this? Because I can't really lie. If I didn't like it, I was going to have to come out here and shit all over it. Which I didn't want to do. So I'm glad that I'm in the spot that I'm in because I'm like, yeah, no, man, like, totally makes sense. And I think it's going to get much better too. Tyson H says, rewatched it earlier and loved them even more. I do think that Sabine getting stabbed should have been changed. Maybe have her get an arm cut off or force pushed into the back of the wall and knocked out. Yeah, no, I think most people are in agreement that was silly. There are some people that aren't bothered by it at all, which is cool. Like, if you're not bothered by it, you don't have to, like, act like it's a thing. But I think we should also be able to recognize that, like, a lot of people are not feeling that shit. So, yeah. Gavin R says, Unity looks dope, Josh. Thoughts on how Ahsoka Episode 3 shakes out next week? I'm a little bit nervous about next week. I think it's a shorter episode. I also think it's one of those weird timing of the story episodes where it's, like, the beginning of Act 2. And it's, I mean, we'll just see how it goes. I'm confident people will feel better about episode 4 and then better about episode 5. Episode 5 is another longer episode. You know what I mean? I think it's going to end up being like close to an hour again, which is great. Angry Joe gave it a 9 out of 10. That's good to hear, man. That's great. Ben Snow says, hey, hope you enjoyed the show last night. Theory definitely liked it. Wanted to stop in for a sec to say your black levels seem a little gray. The fuck? My black levels seem a little gray. Does anybody else know, like, what that means? He's right. The fuck? He ain't lying. What do you mean? What are you talking about? The color correction? Your face, your video? What? No way. What? What? Let's try. Now let's mess with it. Let's spend the whole stream messing with it, okay? So hang on. Is that better? Worse. No. Okay. So you're saying I need more contrast. Is that what you're saying? Okay, how about now? Oh, now it's worse? Oh, shit. Maybe let's just shut our mouths about this shit then. Maybe I've got it looking as good as it can. God damn it! And now you fucking up! Holy shit. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Thanks for the super chat. Space Trick Cereal TM says, Ahsoka not family enough. No eating cereal with their mom. Eat Space Tricks, the official cereal of the Disney suits. God damn it. Every day, they will test you. Okay, moving on. Rosie says, the Nerdvengers pissed Theory off last night. He didn't want to call you. Then we spammed L. Then he called us babies. We got your back. Oh, did he really? That's funny, man. I get that shit a lot too, but yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny. Look, I'll never condone that, but keep it up. Matt Spiro with a $10 holler says, Ahsoka is everything I wanted Jedi Survivor to be with the Zepho. Yeah, it certainly feels that way, and I hope, and I think we're going to get more answers and like actually like dive into that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that would be cool. More lore. More Zepho stuff, man. I'm down. Now you guys have me all self-conscious about the video. Like, this is not a black oh, is this a black shirt? Wait a minute. Is it my eyes? Let me put it over here and see. It looks a little blown out there. Dang, now it looks like blown out. Now I don't... Hang on, now I gotta mess with this. Hey, that's better. Is that better? And now it's so bright over there. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Matt Spiro. Never Lose Your Nerd says, Ahsoka is life. Really liked the episodes. I'm glad you liked them. I liked them as well. Oh my god, what's going on here? Space Trick Serial TM says, love your content, man. You are articulate and educated, a true critic. I manage a weed company, so let me know if you need some of that Kashyyyk green tree. Why don't you send me an email? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this like adults. Justin says, I'll be honest, I really like Rosario Dawson and get the character is older, but can't help feel she is playing Ahsoka too personality less than Ashley. Yeah, look, Ahsoka's at a different point in her life, and she's a little more grumpy. You know what I mean? Which is honestly why she's got to get that Luke Ahsoka going on and, you know, get a little bit of a break. You know what I mean? Let's mess with these filters again. Because, is it the gamma? Is that what's going on? Is that too dark? I feel like that's too dark. It's better? No way. Man, you guys are crazy. That's better? I feel like it's like too saturated or something. Who cares? Get back to the Ahsoka stuff. LOL. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just shut up and dribble. Flat Pressure Zombie says, before the last night, Disney Plus was dead to me. Now it is alive again, all thanks to Ahsoka. Really love Rebels, so this is right up my alley and can't wait to see Thrawn in live action. My man, I feel the same way. I can't wait to see Thrawn in live action. That's going to be dope, bro. Can you imagine? Like, whoo! Let's get it! Skin looks normal? Really? Okay. Okay. But yeah, no, I hear you, brother, and I appreciate that. Thanks for the 10, man. Princess Layup says, in Jedi Survivor, Cordova said the Zepho led him deep into the unknown regions before their trail went cold, perhaps into the new beyond. Yeah, totally. Absolutely possible. I'd love that connection. I would love that connection. Yeah. Hey, don't say that, Fanjecture. God. Marcus says, you think when Ahsoka said sometimes good choices lead to bad outcomes, that's her feeling guilty for the downfall of Anakin? Feeling bad? I mean, maybe. Honestly, would have loved a little more of that. We get a little bit of that in that episode where she's like, you know, kind of talking about that and feeling guilty. So, yeah, could be that she was talking about it there as well. Finally, Star Wars that feels like Star Wars. Brother, I couldn't agree more. Thank you. Chillin' in the basement says, unlike Reva and company, who were all stabbed through the diaphragm, Sabine was stabbed in the liver. Something survivable here on Earth. Nerd Vengeance for life. Take my money. Yeah, look, I get it. And I was actually, like, expecting some of these kind of, you know, responses. But, like, I just don't think it's... we shouldn't be pulling out the anatomy books. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be... you know, having to do models and etch a sketches and fucking, what's that game where if you touch the side, the buzzer's like what's that? Yeah, like, it shouldn't require a detailed explanation to like make it okay. Operation. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to, like, get out the operation thing and be like, well, if you see here, I don't know. Yeah, JP's, like, basic knowledge. Brother, what are you talking about, dude? She got a lightsaber through her. Like, I'm sorry, that feels like, especially considering the whole show opens with Balin stabbing through somebody, and we all know that dude's dead. We're literally like, oh, that dude's dead for sure. You know? And then, like, Sabine gets stabbed through. And look, I get it. It's a little off to the side. I understand it. It doesn't even bother me that much. But it's like, you can't be like, oh, well, technically, you can see it was 3 centimeters away from where vital organs would have been. The pull of gravity given the moons and dual suns of the planet probably influenced the diameter parameter slamma-whammera. Like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, though, chillin'. Bob's Vet says, could possibly be a Knight of Ren, maybe Founder. Ooh, I kind of like that. That'd be kind of fun. You think we'll ever get any Knight of Ren stuff, man? All I think of when I think of the Knights of Ren now is like those Michael Bay fucking crane shots from Rise of Skywalker where they literally do nothing. Like, god damn it, JJ. You remember all those shots? And I was like, oh shit, they're gonna do something. Oh, you know, and then they capture Chewie off screen. Jesus. Angry City says, Eye of Sion, as in the KOTOR Sith Lord Darth Sion. Oh, I like that, actually. That's not bad. Matthew K says, Denspot, where is the heart in these shows? Mando Season 3, Boba Fett, and to a lesser extent Kenobi and Andor all had no heart. That's no one reason why it didn't feel like Star Wars to me. Rebel was full of heart. What the fuck? Yeah, I agree. And I think the heart was in this show, for sure. I like what I've seen with Ahsoka so far, and I definitely felt like it had the magic. Not perfect. A lot I would have changed, but it had the magic. And maybe that's all we can ask for now, you know? Maybe that's all we can ask for. Jake says, Star Wars can't be saved. Remember, it all leads back to the sequels, even Ahsoka. Let me sip on my iced coffee and think about that point for a second. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you guys, heart is above the stomach, Jesus. Bro, I don't know organology. Okay? I don't know organology. I'm not a rocket scientist surgeon guy. Sheesh. How many of you think all of this is for nothing, and the fact that it all leads back to the sequels means it's meaningless? Throw a one into the chat. I just gotta know. How many of you are in that camp? It don't matter. Okay. So, for those of you that put one into the chat, first of all, what the fuck are you doing here? Second of all, are y'all excited for Rebel Moon? Like, come on, man. Y'all gotta be excited for Rebel Moon, right? Hello? Theory said it looked mid. I know, dude. I heard that yesterday. I can't believe it. That's what I'm gonna, yeah. I gotta hit him up about that. I'm more fired up about him saying that than the Ahsoka shit, for sure. Looks bland? What? What's bland about Rebel Moon? Are you kidding me? Looks absolute fire. It looks fire. Y'all are crazy, man. The trailer didn't give much about the story. That's true. You know what's funny? So I'm going to do a Rebel Moon video too, and you all better watch it twice. God damn it. But I'm doing a video on Rebel Moon, and the opening joke that I want to put into it is, Zack Snyder makes some long fucking movies when the first teaser trailer he did is over 3 minutes long and gives us more shots than any other trailer I've seen in my goddamn life. And it's true. Like, that's a teaser trailer? It's supposed to be a teaser. It's almost 4 minutes long. It's got like 100 different shots in it. Absolutely crazy. I love Zack Snyder, man. What a wild bull. Okay. Grant says, Sabine's speeder scene reminded me of the chase in the beginning of Star Trek Into Darkness. That's true, actually. Never bought a comic, but Unity might be my first. Let's go, Grant. Let's go. I'm putting everything I got into this book, man. I wanted to do really well, but I think, at the end of the day, like, it's all about the story. It's all about that script. And like, the reason I'm doing all this is because I feel like we got something good here, man. I feel like we got unique characters, a unique world, pretty unique twists. And, yeah, I'm excited about it. So I hope you check it out. Dark Knight says, hey Josh, what are your thoughts on the reaction of chat? Not sure how it was here, but in theories, the show was being bashed nonstop for no real reason. Well, I think the truth is, it only takes a small amount of people that are really vocal to make it seem like all of chat was shitting on something. Okay. Now, to be fair, I wasn't there last night, so I didn't see what it looked like, right? But I mean, if he's got like literally 11,000 people in there, what's like 5% of that? You know what I mean? And it's like, if you've got that amount of people being very vocal in the chat, it's going to look like it sort of could trick the brain into making it think like there's all this like hate out there, but there's definitely not. Like, it's just, there's not. I mean, look, at this point, and I'm not trying to like pick fights or be mean, but like, it just is what it is. Like, out of all the people out there that are making content, right? How many of the people that have been negative on Star Wars are very negative on Disney? How many of the people that have that's their tune? How many of them sang the same tune for Ahsoka? Like, it just, like, that doesn't seem to me, that doesn't move the needle at all. Like, if a bunch of people that I thought wouldn't like it didn't like it, that doesn't mean it's a bad show or that it's failing. I mean, at some level, I guess it would be cool if the show was so good that even those people would be into it. But it's like, what are we doing here? You try to make content for people that hate all your shit? I don't know. Like, that just seems weird, right? So for what I have seen, and I try to be, I just try to be open and report what I see. I was worried about the reviews because a lot of the people that I watch and a lot of the things I read, I was like, damn, like that's a little tough. But I kind of get that now because I'm in the same page. It's not a masterpiece. It doesn't blow me away right away. I really like it, but it doesn't blow me away. So, yeah. You know, like, does it feel like... Because I really think it's only a certain number of voices out there that are really determinant of like, oh shit, is this thing like really getting shit on by people who would normally defend, right? Because otherwise, like, shit, man, like, haters gonna hate, you know? Haters gonna hate, shill's gonna shill. I think it's really the people in between that are like the greatest factor to decide of like, how is the show going to be a success? And then beyond that, it's like important to remember, like, we're in a bubble. The success of this show is really dependent on a whole bunch of people that don't even watch YouTube. You know what I mean? Like the normies. So if the show cracks into normie world and performs well with normies, then I mean, it's a big success. So Millsy, oh shit, I remember you because that tattoo. We'll definitely be looking at the comic. Luke Soka, appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Darth Sound says LMFAO Wokalite will ruin all progress from Ahsoka. I mean, that is absolutely possible. It's also possible that like Acolyte is gonna be dope. Like Acolyte could be fire. You know, like Acolyte is a big question mark for me. I absolutely think the people have foot and mouth syndrome. I think Leslie Henlin is super cringe. But that doesn't mean she can't make a dope show. You know what I mean? Like, Acolyte could be really, really good. And if it's not, I'm just going to fucking ignore it. You know, and wait for the next Filoni thing. I mean, I kind of had a thought last night where I was like, dude, I just want to watch Dave Filoni Star Wars. I don't want to watch anybody else do this. But that's not really fair. And you sort of lose out on the opportunity of somebody bringing in something new to the franchise. So, I'm going to give Acolyte a shot. You know? If that just sucks, I'm just going to ignore it and clown on it. Andre says, I got to say, countdown 12 months, unity for the world, baby. You better sign that book with a golden pen. Much love and take my money. But if I sign it with a golden pen on the gold cover, you won't even see it. So maybe I'll just tell you I signed it and you'll never know. Big Oran says, do you think the MCU will do Black Priest versus Kang instead of Rabama Law versus Ivory Kings as the main two players in the Game of Worlds? First of all, dope question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, probably, man. That appears to be the route they're going. Kind of a shame, you know. I love the Rabama Law, Doctor Doom reveal. That shit was sick. But it could still absolutely work the other way around. So, I'll tell you this. We're going to talk more Marvel on Friday. I have a big stream planned for you guys on Friday. Because I want to talk a lot about, like, the reboot and, you know, some of the things that we're hearing. Wanda, Doctor Strange, all these different things. So, like, Fridays is going to be a big old MCU stream. So, we'll talk more about that then. But, yeah, I think that's possible, man. Everyday Star Wars with a 10 spot says, hey Josh, enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka, however, have issues such as the stab scene and Ezra Sabine's relationship. It was literally teased in Rebels in a way. Much love. Yeah, it definitely was. Definitely was. Josh, is KK the reason Ahsoka is so good? How dare you? How dare you? Did Dirty put you up to that? Yeah, the stab scene is not cool, and I don't like the Ezra thing. But at the end of the day, like, I think for me personally, I'm just gonna kind of let Dave cook. Like, enough of it is good and resonating with me that I'm like, I'm in, man. Like, let me see what you got. You know what I mean? Like, just let me see what you got. I don't love that stuff, and we'll see how the rest of the show goes. But yeah, it was funny. Like, I originally thought if it was anything other than a masterpiece, I would be really, really let down. And I'm not really, really let down. There's a lot of it that I don't like, but the show is like so sure of itself. And he's really confidently telling this story. So it's like, I'm just going to let him do his thing and judge it kind of at the end, you know? But for now, I'm pretty excited. How do you want email? Insta here or Twitter? Dude, email, electronic mail.
thedenofnerds@gmail.com. Hit me up. Darth Baba says the Purgle are definitely from different galaxies. So much world building, and I'm still curious and intrigued for more. I agree with you, Baba. I agree with you, and I think, man, it would just be so cool to get some more answers and have some more fun exploring the Force. And also, too, I'm just waiting to hear Dave say, and then I consulted with George, and I'm going to be like, chef's kiss. What a Downer says, how big of a role do you think Luke will play in this season? Not a very big role at all, man. No. I've been trying to say this. I don't really think Luke's in it. If he is, it's not till the very end. Especially once they get to that other galaxy. I mean, they damn sure, like, Luke is not popping up. I would be pissed, actually, if Luke just random ass X-Wing pulls up again in this new galaxy and, like, saves the day again. I'd actually be pissed. Would I be pissed? Yeah, I'd be pissed. You know? Yeah, so I don't think you're getting a lot of Luke, brother. Rosie says... Oh, shit. Rosie says, dude, I was thinking today about how I felt about Ahsoka. You are dead on. The word that popped in my head was peace. I'm at peace with this show. It's not a 10, but a 7 will do for now. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like I'm really at peace with what we have. You know? So I'm feeling good. Levi says, looked like the lightsabers were changed to red and not orange like they were in the trailer. They also just look better in general. They definitely looked better in general. There was only a couple of shots where you could really see the practical behind it, and all the other times it seemed to be really well, like, painted over with lighting effects, because really you want them to look like a blade of light and energy and not like a practical thing with like a big old flashlight, right? So yeah, I will say that attention to detail was appreciated, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. There were a couple of times where I was like, yep, but for the most part, it looked pretty good. Branson, Dave made a new galaxy, a literal Filoni verse. Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, you're right, dude. Hey, Andre, thanks for reminding me. Real quick, I just want to say, I know we got rid of the Prime memberships. We're bringing them back. I know. It's crazy around here. Basically, YouTube wouldn't let me get rid of them. And I was like, fuck. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Prime streams at the end of the month for now on. I'm actually going to do one this Sunday. So the Prime stream this Sunday. I'll see you there. Seattle, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. JB says, Qui-Gon was strong in the Force, but weak everywhere else. What? Cutting off a limb is overuser. Anakin was sliced, diced, and burned alive. The saber fighting was a bit off, though. Good stuff so far. Yeah, I'm with you. I still prefer it my way. And I would have liked the limb to be gone, man, you know? I don't like the stabby stab, but it doesn't kill the whole show for me. So, RJ Phyllis says, evening streams are silly for me because I'm mountain time. Joining the stream way late, but will rewatch. Love your insanely critical takes because I get it. You're jaded. Rebel Moon all day, Nerd Adventures for life. Oh, hell yeah, man. Rebel Moon, baby. I have been Zactivated. Everybody Zactivated? Where's like W's and everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. You're so clever, Josh. Like, oh, man, yeah. Just hello? Cool. So Jeet says, this is exactly what Melvin says. You may like some of what you get now, but will you still like it when Ahsoka joins with Rey and Grogu in the sequel movie? Man, I gotta be honest with you. I hope they don't make that Rey movie. And if they do, I hope they don't bring in all of these other characters that we actually like to try to like win us over in the Rey movie. Don't do that shit. Feels gross. Smells like KK. God. Chill in the Basement says Snyder promised 4-hour R-rated director cuts too. Oh yeah, I know. And I'm so happy. He's like, I can't help myself. Got to do some 4-hour cuts. I mean, that's what yeah, it's good shit.
Rosie says, just wanted to say from now on, I'm doing watch parties with you. The community and you are great. Last night was my first watch with Theory. Totally different vibe. He's super serious as well. Okay, interesting. Look, Theory is like literally one of my best friends. I absolutely love the guy. I think too, you know, sometimes like I don't want to like psychoanalyze or like say, you know, like, well, maybe it's this or whatever, but I know that like when you have a lot of people, and he had a lot of people, it just gets different. Like there's a part of your brain that like, because I try not to look at viewership numbers on the stream while I'm streaming because like I want to be in it and just be performing. But like if you notice like, oh shit, there's like that many people here, it just gets a little different. I also know that like Theory doesn't really mod his chat, which is, you know, it's different, you know, that's a choice. So I hear you, man, but I love Theory, man, and I love being in a lot of his streams. I'll pop in from time to time. I also creep on some of his streams because I don't want to like say anything in the chat because then it becomes a whole thing. So yeah, no, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Vandolph the Black says Star Wars connection / anime approach will push this genre forward, something beyond George Lucas with music effects and hero's journey. I agree with you, and I saw flashes of that in these first 2 episodes, you know, and I think Dave is getting really good, and I think he's very deliberate, and I think he's using some really cool film tricks. There was a couple of really cool little shots that I was like, oh, nice choice, you know. I think he's ready for the movie. Faux show. Seattle says, finally got my first big boy job, so I can finally become a member. Yo, welcome to the Nerd Avengers, baby. Happy to be a part of the best online community. Easiest decision of my life. Oh, shit, bro. That's high praise. Thank you. Tobin! Where you been, Tobin? I was upset that Ezra thinks of Sabine as a sister, so they probably won't end up being romantic. Then I realized it's Star Wars, so I'm not worried now. I know, right? I had that thought, too, where it's like, is he doing the reverse Luke and Leia? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's a little weird, you know? Unity! Comment from Dave Chappelle got me laughing. I know, I need to have that on, like, my stream deck so I can just pull that up. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. Frost Morph 6 says, Stab made me think Ahsoka was going to force heal her. Thank God that didn't happen. I know, right? Ugh. For sure. Andre, thanks for the upgrade, brother. Appreciate you. I'll see you Sunday. Kenzie Martin with a very generous 10 says, I'll be pissed if Luke shows up ever, even if he's just randomly in the background photobombing every scene, just staring at the camera all serious. What? That was a little bit to follow, but yeah, no. Same, I guess. Star Wars Oddball says, got my Unity Collector's tier. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. Loved Ahsoka and can't wait to see Thrawn. Do you think the Rakatan could appear? I hope so. I think that would be a really cool thing to dive into. It's sort of teased in Andor as well. I didn't see the episode. Somebody told me about it. I can't watch that. But somebody did say that was teased in there, so that'd be cool, man. I really like the Rakatan. I really like that whole Dawn of the Jedi, Force batteries, the Force hounds, the Ashla, the Bogan. It's good stuff. Jorge says, surely there is no more Rey movie. There is no script before the strikes. No way for 2025. It's definitely not going to hit 2025. But now they kind of have a caked-in excuse. Yeah, I hope they don't do that movie, man. I hope they don't do that movie. You know, even if they just have to, like, we've delayed the Rey movie, and then, like, they just kind of stop talking about it. Like, give them the Rian Johnson treatment. You know what I mean? Can you believe they literally decided to make another Rey movie? That's like a whole nother discussion. We don't have to like go there, but wow, like just the idea of them sitting in a boardroom and like making that decision, and like nobody in there like chuckled or like, you know, it reminds me of that. There's a GIF that Trinity uses all the time. With J. Jonah Jameson laughing, And it's like, and then in the movie, he's like laughing like that. And he's like, oh, wait, you're serious? You know? Like, that's like somebody should have done that. Where she was like, let's do a little Ray movie. And then somebody's like, you know, wait, you're serious? Okay. Anyway, Cadence saw someone say that the new Hera is whitewashed. Rebels Hera is voiced by a white woman, and Hera has a French accent. Haters grasping at straws. That's a new one. Look, some of these haters are like really creative. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give it to them. I feel like there's a lot of creativity in the hater community. There's also a lot of creativity in the victim community. You know those people that just like, I'm a victim, and here's why. Some of the mental gymnastics they do to get into the victimhood mindset is truly mind-blowing. It's like, I feel like telling them, like, if you were to put that focus, energy, and creativity into, like, actually making something of yourself, you'd probably be somewhere in life. And the same thing with the haters. Like, some of these haters, like, bro, you could be a lawyer. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're kind of wasting your... You're wasting your talents, I think. Space Trick says, just emailed you about the Falerkian perps. Oh, shit, bruh. Darth Sound says, not being weird, serious question. Do you credit Theory bringing you to Nerd Theory a couple of years ago as a big part of your success? Yeah, absolutely. I've told him this before. You know, I think, oh, man. There was this one time where I was just like, you know what, bro? Like, I really appreciate it. You know, thank you. Absolutely. And of course, you know, doing Nerd Theory, we saw a big pop on our live streaming channel. And I think a big part of, you know, how we're able to pull the numbers we pull over here, because, you know, this channel doesn't even have 50,000 subscribers, but, you know, we're usually getting at least 1,000 concurrents or like somewhere close to it. And then on big streams, we can get even more. I think that obviously comes from the Nerd Theory platform. You know what I mean? So, like, of course. Absolutely. Ryan Lewis, thanks for upgrading. Robert V says, if you're throwing out 7s or 8s for Ahsoka through episode 5, is your tune going to start changing a little bit towards the negative side? Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think 3 could be like a whatever. Like, if three's bad, it's not going to destroy it for me. I think it's going to be bad for the narrative, but it's not going to destroy it for me. If by episode 5 decides, it really kind of decides it for me, I think. You know, I really need to see what episode 5 is like. And then I think the rest of the show might just be absolute fire. You know what I mean? Like, I think once we get into that episode 5, like, whew, we're cooking with gas. Detoxing for Life says, dude, lightsaber through you, no problem. LOL, the lightsaber's becoming a joke now. Also, I'm not fully sold on Rosario as Ahsoka, bro, but I'll take it. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's definitely a different kind of vibe for sure. It's frankly not the Ahsoka we know from Rebels. It also doesn't like fully feel like the Ahsoka from Mando. I kept trying to think last night, is this the same Ahsoka from Mando? Like, what you know, is that the same Ahsoka? And the way I kind of made sense of it, and I wonder if they'll address this in the show, is I think Ahsoka splitting up with Sabine for the first time, that probably happened right before episode 5 of Mando season 2. So, like, right around that time, she parts ways with Sabine, and then she's a little grumpy, and that's why she doesn't want to train Grogu. She's got, like, all these feelings and whatnot. So, I think it can still be made to make sense, but I hear you, man. I hear you. J-Slide says, got the Unity Top G bundle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, though. Says, can't get rid of me that easily. LOL. Sabine needs to remember to do squats. Wait, what? Oh, first of all, I really appreciate the support. Thank you. But I mean, I'm gonna respectfully disagree. I'm gonna actually say that I think Sabine has been hitting the squat rack. I'm gonna choose to respectfully say that the Force is strong with that booty. Yeah. I think she's wearing the kind of pants that, like, make it look bad, and it didn't. Okay, anyway. Ferez, thanks, man. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Tobin says, been working a new job, but I'm always watching the replays. Oh, that's nice, man. Ahsoka got me feeling good because it feels like a return to the norm. 100% think Disney will end this era of Star Wars with some sort of soft reboot. Ooh, yeah, that could be interesting. I don't know that you're getting a soft reboot. I just think you need to go way into the future. You know what I mean? Which I kind of low-key had this thought where I was like, dude, if they go into this other galaxy, by the time they come back, like, what if when they came back to our galaxy, it was past the sequel trilogy? You know what I mean? Like, bro, now that I wouldn't be mad at. Like, all of a sudden, like, they come back to the galaxy, like, Thrawn comes back to the galaxy, and it's actually past the sequels? Whoo! Now, that is something I could get down with. You know what I mean? Yeezy for Sheezy says, Shmish de like. Ahsoka was hype. She seems a bit emotionless, but that's all right. But this is the oldest we've seen her in a fitting place for her not wooden acting. You had some bars for a second there, you know? But, yeah, no, I hear you, man. She's, I do think it makes sense. It's not just wooden acting, it is the character. But I think it's also fair to point out that, like, people fell in love with Ahsoka because of her charm. And so, like, missing that is it's not a winning formula. I hope we get back to an optimistic place. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, man. That would be an admission that the sequels weren't good. That's never going to happen. No, they don't have to say it. They don't have to, like, admit it. They could give us a wink and a nod. They could give us a wink and the nod, but they could still go far ahead. I might even make a video on that, bruh. Because, like, I really want them to do that. Just go way ahead. Just go way ahead. Be good. Live action Ahsoka does seem a little bit more jaded. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's totally fair to say. Tyson Age, appreciate that. Very generous, brother. How do you think Balin would feel about Luke if he showed up and he found out he was the son of Anakin? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you think he'd try to kill him knowing what his father became, or would seeing a true Jedi bring him back to the light? Wow, that's a compelling idea. I'm going to say that Balin would be upset, but I also think Luke could turn him to the light. And it could be a really cool fight because, like, Balin is, like, huge and he's using power. It's actually very similar to Vader. Vader, like, almost swings like he's swinging a claymore, and it's very, you know, powerful, crazy strikes. And I would love to see, like, Luke kind of finessing, wearing him down, and, you know, almost like a reverse of the Empire fight with Vader and Luke, where Vader's, like, trying to turn him the whole time. Like, what if Luke was trying to turn Balin the whole time and just finessing that crazy power? That could be really cool, bro. Thanks for the support, man. PB&J says, isn't there a gold masked person? I think it's Ezra. Yeah, there is rumored to be a golden masked person that is like a personal bodyguard to Thrawn in the New Beyond, named Enoch. And we know nothing about this character other than that. Could be really cool. I don't think it's Ezra. Could be a cloned Jedi, though. That could be fun. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where they go with that. The Masters Windu brought to arrest Palps died, but not Sabine, huh? Yeah. They had, I mean, yeah. I'm not even going to defend it. I mean, I think at the end of the day, they do have medical stuff right then and there. But I mean, I don't like the choice. I think there's different ways to make Sabine hold that L. I think you need her to hold the L there, though. But, like, yo, I would have had the little Sith biddy just, like, slice and dice, man. I feel like she should have just sliced and dice. Sajid says, I think Ahsoka gets Balin to somewhat come back to the center, not fully light side, and Shin kills Balin for being unloyal / betraying her. Ooh. That could be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious how all that goes down. Because he doesn't feel like full-on Sith either. But they do have red sabers. I don't know. It's intriguing. You know, the Maruk or whatever, That character is almost as interesting as anybody else in the show. For some reason, I'm pretty interested in who that character is. They did a good job with that character. And they don't even put a ton of focus on the character. But it's like, bro, who's that motherfucker? You know what I mean? Let's see here. Thrawn's coming back makes lore sense for all the Death Star destroyers in the sequels. His whole thing was TIE Defenders, which is all overwhelming and overpowering. Yep. Yeah, but I still think it'd be cooler to go past them. I still think it would be cooler. I think the fans would react more positively to that. That's just me, though. Yeah. I was scared we were going to be in live action flying sabers. I know, right? And then he just takes off. That would be kind of interesting. No, they didn't do that, luckily. Gold mask homie is Darkside Luke. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? I'd be down, man. Go for it. Do that. Be bold. Or like a cloned Anakin. It doesn't have to be as strong as Anakin, right? Like maybe it doesn't have his essence or whatever. Maracas Ezra. I mean, I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it, bro. Could be. I don't see it. Maybe I missed it. Glad for the later stream. Oh, shit. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, something like Luke would be cool. King of Bluegrass, welcome back to Prime Level, baby. I'll see you Sunday. Let's go, Nerd Avengers. Let's go, indeed. Morgan Elsbeth is Ezra. Shit. Blacked out for a second. Blue Eyes Gamgee. Booty is a 10. I don't know if the show is a 1 of 10. Sabine is some top motherfucking shelf simping. Where you at, Sabine? Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah. Yeah. Chat was so thirsty last night. Like everybody was just like, yo, like, she's the new baddie. Like, she's the one, you know, like all that. That's kind of funny. Choppa? Hell yeah. Choppa good. Hera's the baddest? I don't know if I would say that Hera's the baddest, but she's definitely not out of contention. You know what I mean? She's not out of contention. You know, respectfully, of course. Did this motherfucking bring back Prime? I did. But Ryan, YouTube wouldn't let me get rid of it. I tried everything. And we're just doing them once a month now. We're just doing them once a month and maybe on a special occasion if something else happens. So Prime's coming back, but it's just once a month. It's like the last Sunday in every month I'm going to do it. I kind of miss the Prime streams a little bit too. Like, they were driving me crazy, but I do miss like talking through that stuff is always fun with you guys. Blue Eyes Gamgee says facts. Yeah, no, you right. You right. 2 weeks? We're starting with 1. We'll see. Josh, what do you think of the Night Sister magic is a way people wield the Force in the new galaxy? Oh, it took 2 weeks. Yeah. Wait, what? Really? It's only been 2 weeks? Jesus. Wow. Darth Baba says, I feel like Balin and Shin are definitely characters that I want to learn more about in books, etc. Things finally Disney. No, I agree. They're very compelling and interesting characters. Well done. Well done for Dave, you know? Campio's take on the show is hit trash? What? Can you expound on that? I don't know what you mean. Respectfully, Hera had a booty on her. She did. She did. I'm not going to lie. What's a Prime stream? So there's 2 tiers for the memberships. There's the $5 a month tier, which is like the standard one. We do like streams every week and we do kind of fun stuff behind the scenes. And then there's a $10 tier. And originally I would do a stream each week talking about like business, behind the scenes of YouTube, what I'm trying with the channels, etc. And it got to be too much. And I was like, I'm done with the Prime streams. We're going to delete that tier. No more. Sorry, guys. We're not doing it anymore.
And then, like, I couldn't. Like, I've tried, like, 3 different ways to delete it, and YouTube, like, won't let me delete the tier. So basically, I was like, all right, well, I'll keep the tier, and I'll do 1 stream a month that's businessy. And it's like, if people don't want to do it, that's fine, but then I still have it, and I'm still doing something. So that's the best I can do. Detoxing for Life says, Josh, I would have took Zoe Saldana as Ahsoka. That's not bad. Let her do everything, bro. Avatar, Marvel, and Disney. Who would you have cast as Ahsoka? Curious. I don't have a good answer. I'm really bad at casting. I think Rosario does good, though. I actually really like Rosario as Ahsoka. Bronco Bro 01 says, a lot of scenes felt real and not like the volume. Yeah, so I just found this out the other day, guys. Apparently, there was a visual effects supervisor that worked at Disney that helped with Mando Season 1 and Mando Season 2. And I guess they parted ways with that guy, which is ridiculous because the way it was explained to me was like, oh, the volume's great, but not anybody can actually just use it. Like, you've got to really understand the technology and how to render in order to make it look good. So, like, why'd they do that? That's so stupid. Jenna Ortega for young Ahsoka? Yeah, that could work. That could work. Josh, you the man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm just out here doing my thing. I'm just out here doing my thing, you know? Trying to get a motherfucking scholarship. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Ooh, we're almost over 26,000 on the Kickstarter. So I appreciate you guys. Go check out the Unity Kickstarter. I don't think I have it in. I got to get it in the description. I don't even have it in the description. It's pinned to my Twitter, though. You can check it out on my Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Campia said the show was visually terrible. Well, that's ridiculous. But then again, he is the wiener gazer. Darth Baba gifted a membership. Oh, look at that. Shreddy got a membership. How about that shit? Jessica Alba as Ahsoka, bro. I mean, that would be cool. That would be cool. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to get on out of here. Oh, my God. We almost did 2 hours. I didn't realize. All right, guys. I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate y'all. No streams tomorrow. Big stream Friday morning. Look out for some more videos. Got some more thoughts on Ahsoka. Got some Marvel news to catch you guys up on as well. So I'm going to get on out of here. I really appreciate the love. Like I said, 8 out of 10. Plenty of stuff I don't like. But I'm riding with it. I'm going to let Dave cook. I'm going to let him do his thing. I feel like this is a good start. You know? I'm at peace. I'm at peace. You know? All right, everybody. Much love. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.
Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. You know, feels good. Feels good to be back at it. I feel like we've got weeks and weeks of great discourse ahead. And it's just kind of cool, man, going through it again together. I like these new times. It's good shit. Appreciate you. Remember, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky, smelly butt. I'll see you.